Several months ago, I started designing my electric throttle. Here's the process of how I made the pedal and all that from months ago. Okay, I got this little test board set up here for my electronic throttle control. So I'm going to have this servo mounted to the carburetor, or the throttle bodies, basically. This position here represents idle. This one here will be mounted to this OEM gas pedal through the side. And as I've discovered, when this goes down, it rotates the drum 45 degrees. So the electric car will basically take this one just from here to here. This one will be on the steering wheel as a trim pot. Basically, the pedal will always go to full when I step on the electric. But if this is at 0, there will be no gas engine. If I turn this up a little bit when I step on the car, we'll get just a tiny bit of movement. But I've discovered on my motorcycle that you turn the throttle from here to here and you're keeping up with traffic. So it doesn't take much to cruise with traffic. This will always be like an RPM limiter. If I set it, say, to there, no matter how far you step on the gas, it will only go, so if it's at full throttle, the trim pot can go from 0 to probably about 8,000 RPMs. If you leave it at 8,000, then it has the full travel from 0 to 8,000. So that's a really responsive gas pedal. But you can turn the gas trim down, and then you have a little less, or even less. So like I said, this one just trims it from 0 to full. So then this one will be on top of the shifter. So if you really want to race, it'll have this knob. And that will always run the servo to full throttle. So 90 degrees on here is full throttle on the bike. The throttle baffles move 90 degrees max. So the shift will always have the ability for full throttle. The gas pedal will have either no response or a maximum of half throttle. But at any time you can go full throttle. So that's the accelerator system, and I have a simple schematic using a rated C 20K, or rated A 10K, and then the original, and with a 10K resistor to my servo controller. I'm making progress. I took my potentiometers out of here. This is proven. So I mounted one in this. I soldered some wires to that. This is my steering wheel control. I made a new one. There it is, throttle trim. To get that painted, after I 3D printed, I painted on the back of some cardboard real thin, and then just kind of dabbed it on there. Came out pretty nice. So I'm going to use this coily cord here. It's got 5 conductors. So I'm going to use that to solder in some wires. So today we're going to be mounting this potentiometer onto the side of the pedal housing and connecting it through the center. So we're going to drill a hole, and I'll make a 3D printed shaft that can pin to the housing So it will rotate with that, and then control the potentiometer mounted out here. Let's get started. We'll be able to mount this on a plate out here. Then as this drum turns, it'll turn a shaft, which will rotate the potentiometer. Okay, what I have in mind is to 3D print a pin with an inside that presses into the potentiometer. This boss will fit up inside of here. This pin will just go through this part here. This sleeve here will just go through the hole I drilled. And then on the back side, I'll make a plate that has a little cutout for the shape of the potentiometer. And the nut, that'll bolt onto there like that. And then this will have a slotted hole so I can do some fine adjusting to get the right resistance for the balance of where the pedal starts. Okay, after my design of putting the pin, I originally was going to put a pin through the hub. I looked up inside the hub. It's actually like 4 little tabs. So I 3D printed the drive with notches, and that'll just fit right up in there. And it'll drive. And then this side fits the potentiometer. Nice tight fit. So I counterbored that for the nut on the potentiometer. This will just drop through there, and that will drive the potentiometer as I step on the pedal. So I 3D printed this mount with a little D-shaped hole for the potentiometer to fit right in there. I soldered the 2 lead wires I needed, and I just grounded the shielding. Not like it's really doing anything, but at the other end it will be grounded under the dash. Hopefully it doesn't pick up interference. We just assemble this. I don't exactly know what position this needs to be in. What if I start it in the middle? I also put this bolt here to stop the pedal from going into the famous Mercedes kickdown, because I noticed with the Steinbauer power module, the car actually goes faster before that. And as soon as you hit that kickdown it slows it down. So I'll just leave it to where it can't go that far. And then I have the cover, holds the wire. And there it is. That'll be down on the pedal. Pretty slick. This will just go over and tie into the original wire harness. Like that. So now I have the original electric throttle, and this will go to the circuit over here for the servo control. Okay, working on the under dash fuse panel. So probably mount a 4-gang fuse panel, terminal strips, ignition relay. I'll probably put a box to shield this. This is the servo driver. I'll just put it there, and then this is the power supply. I was thinking of mounting it over here, but then I have to move the gauge pods up. It blocks the air conditioning. There's no place to put it down through here. So I'm going to end up setting it like right here. From my vantage point, that's what I'll see. Like I said, it's kind of, move my fat hand out of the way, kind of blocks that other gauge, but I can still see it. So that'll just sit right there. So from outside the car, just be right there. Okay, I got all the parts mounted to the fuse panel. This will be up under the passenger dash. Still be a lot of work climbing under it, connecting all that. And for the dashboard, for the bike, I mean, I've tried several places in the car. Everywhere I put it blocks the view of something. Or the steering wheel blocks this. So the best thing I found, I was just going to set it, it's going to be up on top of the dash. It might look kind of cool. And then the back of it is ugly, you know, because it wasn't designed to be seen. So I cut off the posts and ground this kind of flat. You're not going to see any of this, and I ground off this flat. And then I ended up 3D printing this in 2 pieces and glued it together because my printer's too small. But once I get this screwed together, I'm going to have a couple studs sticking out of the back because I can put them in from this side, then screw this together. There'll be studs sticking out, drill holes in this, and then that goes on. And I'll just kind of clean it up like that. And then I'll make a plate and weld on a bracket that comes down to a foot on the dash, and this will just sit up on the dash. Now this is just 3D printed, and that's from the bed side. I'm going to smooth that out, do a little bit of Bondo, and then I'll probably just paint it black. It's either going to be black, silver, or red. Those are the colors in the dash, but we'll get to that. Yeah, probably a little overkill for a gauge mount, but I'm going to paint this black, and then that's what you'll see looking through the windshield. And then I'll paint the bezel red, and then it'll be black around the gauges. Okay, I got the GSXR dash mounted. Still got a lot of wiring to do. I have to connect all of these here to these, color respective. Connect these color respective, and then I can tuck all that. And then I can put the dash back. And I got the coil cord for my throttle control here. And then I change this over with a different switch. That'll be for the AB modes up on the GSXR there. And then on this side of the steering wheel I made the start switch. I just got to run that wire up behind the dash, tied in all those, and bring it over and connect that fuse panel. Okay, after my old schematic from months ago, finally got it all wired in. Now I just got to ground all those loops and then I can test it. So we have all the controls connected, throttle trim, put it about the middle. So we have the start button, put the dash up top. Okay, with the car off, the bike won't turn on, it won't start. That's a good test. Turn on the car. Still won't start, but we can flip on the bike. You hear the water pump, fuel pump. Still won't start till I push the clutch. This is with the foot pedal. All the way. Pretty cool.